Hey there! Welcome to Final Fantasy VII. And let's kick off, let's kick it off with going through the credits. Saves me having to do it. Yeah, Yoshinori Kitase is the director this time around. Again. Nobuo Uematsu, still around as a composer, and still amazing. Ken Narita back as the main programmer. You don't often see people, Tetsuya Nomura. You don't often see programmers credited. And yeah, Tetsuya Nomura is sort of main artist. Yusuke Naora as the director. I will end up Yoshitaka Amano as the image illustrator. Not concept art, he just did some few images here and there. Kazuyuki Hashimoto is the CG, because there is CG in this one. Motonori Sakakibara. There are movies, because this is Tomohiro Kayano. So yeah, a few names that are going to be familiar to people who've seen my previous Final Fantasy Let's Plays. People that I talked about when I was going through the pixel remasters of 1 to 6. And people who are... fair number of people who are going to be new. People I haven't talked about before. So, this game came out in 1997. Final Fantasy VII first came out. It was released on the original Sony PlayStation, which I am actually going to talk about in a couple minutes. This game was very successful. And it's actually credited with making RPGs more popular outside of Japan. RPGs were always fairly popular in Japan, but prior to Final Fantasy VII, they weren't all that big in North America. Yeah, the Final Fantasy games, they did reasonably well. 4 and 6, releases 2 and 3 in North America. They did reasonably well, but they weren't hits. Not the way they were in Japan. As it was, and then this game came out. It was the second most popular game on the original PlayStation, right behind Gran Turismo. In the 28 years, in the 28 years since this game came out, who feels old? In the 28 years since it came out, it sold over 14 million units across all the platforms it's been on. So, this was the first Final Fantasy game released on a console other than Nintendo. Alright. And I was just gonna keep repeating this then. Okay. I will get into the game in a moment. So, Final Fantasy VII was actually originally planned for the Super Nintendo. They had to delay work on 7 while they worked on Chrono Trigger, which not a mistake. Chrono Trigger was incredible, one of the all-time greatest RPGs ever made. So Square made the right choice focusing on that one, because that game was knocked so far out of the park. They did also consider making 7 for the Nintendo 64. They ended up deciding on going with the PlayStation because it just had better tech. It was just the CDs, because the Nintendo 64 did go with cartridges again, while PlayStation was going with CDs, and CDs just objectively better than cartridges in terms of what you can fit on them, in terms of memory capacity. They did do a test for the Nintendo 64 DD, or disk drive, but found it actually would have required 30 discs, which was just a little bit prohibitive. They actually released an magazine ad, showing just like a stack of cartridges, saying that it would cost over $1,000 on cartridges. For the record, it has since gotten a cartridge-based release on the Nintendo Switch, which bundled with 8. So they fit 2 of these old, too big for cartridges games onto one cartridge as a bundle, which is kind of funny. So let's talk about the PlayStation a little bit. So the way the PlayStation came about, Nintendo had sort of contracted with Sony to have them develop a disk drive for, I believe, for the Nintendo 64. I think might have been the Super Nintendo. I might be misremembering, but they had contracted with Sony to do a disk drive. But at one point, Nintendo got a little bit concerned, as it was for the Super Famicom, yeah. So they'd sort of Nintendo had talked to Sony about doing a CD-ROM version of the Super Famicom. In June of 1991, Sony did reveal a Super Famicom with a built-in CD-ROM drive, which they called PlayStation, 2 separate words. The day after, Nintendo announced that it was instead going to be going with Philips. The Philips CDI for the Super Nintendo was a colossal failure. Just one of the biggest failures in Nintendo's history, and they've had some whoppers. They've had some huge failures in their time. And the Philips CDI, even by the standards, like even by Nintendo's failure standards, it was bad. Sony obviously got really angry about their deal being broken, so they decided to go ahead and just get into the gaming industry themselves with the Sony PlayStation. There are questions about exactly why Nintendo broke the agreement. One speculation is that they were worried about that Sony was trying to get into the video game industry, that Sony was using Nintendo to get their foot into the door. In which case, yeah, that plan to cancel the agreement backfired. So That's how the PlayStation came about. And then when Square went with PlayStation for Final Fantasy VII, Nintendo got pissed about that. Nintendo felt really betrayed by that. And basically canceled any just had nothing to do with Square for a good few years after that. For the next 5 years, no Square game appeared on a Nintendo console. The next time that Square had a game on Nintendo, Chocobo Land, a game of dice on the Game Boy Advance in 2002, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles on the GameCube in 2003, and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance on the Game Boy Advance in 2003. So yeah, it was 5 years that their relationship was just really strained. And even after that, I mean, while Square did end up doing other games for Nintendo after that, it took a while for any Final Fantasy games to start showing up on Nintendo consoles again. Like ports for them. As it is, 7 and a lot of other Final Fantasies have been ported to Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One. But yeah, it wrecked their relationship. I know I'm over 10 minutes in, but I've still got stuff to say, so sorry. As I mentioned, there had been rumors about a Nintendo 64 port, or there were plans for it. There's no actual work went into it, though there are fake previews or previews and videos for the Nintendo 64 port. But like I said, there was never actually work done on it. Prior to working on this, they had done a tech demo showing how the game might look in 3D. They used 3D models of Final Fantasy VI's Locke, Terra, and Shadow in just a simple combat scenario. By today's standards, nothing special. But by the standards of the time, it did get some attention. And was the reason that Sony did grab it. Even with the technology, Square was sort of uncertain on it. The PlayStation did have decent sales in Japan, but the public was still largely uncertain on it. Square actually said that they wouldn't, that they'd only agree if PlayStation hit 1 million consoles sold by a certain time. For the record, Sony did not actually hit 1 million consoles, but they were doing well enough that Square went, okay, yeah, we'll do it. When a commercial was released announcing that Final Fantasy VII would be PlayStation exclusive, it built a lot of excitement for the console. It probably did help to boost its sales. The game cost $40 million to make, $61 million adjusted. And the development took somewhere between 100 and 150 people over a year. Might have been the largest development team of any game up to that point. These days, of course, 150 people, that's nothing. I played Cyberpunk 2077 just on my own not long ago. The credits for that game went on for like 40 minutes. It was insane. It's just wild how many people worked on that game. So yeah, 150 people now, nothing. That's some small indie game. That's some small indie team that does that one. But yeah, by the standard of the time, 150 people, massive development team. Sony helped cover a lot of the costs and handle the North American distribution. Sony was betting a lot on this game. And it paid off. But huge bets. They were making a huge bet on it. I suppose before I get into the game proper, one other thing to mention, spin-offs. This is the first Final Fantasy game to really have proper spin-offs. I think. Maybe? I don't remember. Anyway, so it's got various sequels, prequels, spin-offs. These are sort of grouped together under compilation of FF7. It includes Final Fantasy Advent Children, a CG film sequel in 2005. Last Order OAV, animated by Madhouse, also released in 2005. Madhouse, for the record, is a phenomenal animation studio. They've done some incredible stuff. If you like anime, you've probably seen something that they've done. Ninja Scroll, Perfect Blue, Vampire Hunter D, Bloodlust, Trigun, Black Lagoon, Death Note, Parasite the Maximum, the first season of One Punch Man, second adaptation of Hunter x Hunter. They've done a lot. They're a big name in animation. And a very, very well-respected name. Anyway, so yeah. Last Order, OAV, animated by Madhouse. Final Fantasy Before Crisis, a Japan-only mobile game in 2004. Dirge of Cerberus on the PlayStation 2 in 2006. Crisis Core in 2007 for the PlayStation Portable, PSP. Ever Crisis, a mobile remake in 2023. And, of course, most notably, Remake and Rebirth. Released over the past couple years. Which are just a remake of this game, part of a remake trilogy of this game. But that's not all. There's On the Way to a Smile, short stories published between 2005 and 2009. The Kids Are All Right, a Turk side story, a novel in 2011. G-Bike mobile game in 2014. The First Soldier mobile game in 2021. And another novel, Remake Trace of Two Pasts, novel released in 2021. That one I think is about Aerith and Tifa, I believe. Just sort of prequels for those two. Before I get into it, I'll also mention, you saw in the credits, Nobuo Uematsu. He wanted to use vocals in some of the tracks, but it increased the loading times too much, so he couldn't get away with it. As it was, he did treat this like a movie soundtrack, and made an incredible soundtrack, as you will see, as you'll hear. Soundtrack is a big part of why this game is beloved as well. And Yoshitaka Amano, he was listed in the credits, but he didn't actually do a whole lot. He did the logo, which we'll see soon, and he did promo art. But he was unable to do any concept art due to other commitments, including a big gallery showing that he was doing. Which, yay, good for him. All right. I could probably turn the sound effect volume up a little bit. Oh well. Also mentioned here as well, there were a lot of translation errors in the localization, which prompted Square to create an in-house localization department. Ted Woolsey was asked to do the localization, but he declined, which he ended up kind of regretting. He very much regretted that he passed on doing the localization. And hey, who's this pretty lady? I'm sure she won't be relevant. We probably won't see her ever again. Already the music is very good. Yeah, right off the bat. Right off the bat, it really sets itself apart from any previous Final Fantasy. They were really proud of what they were able to do. And like just this bit right here, where it transitions from the pre-rendered cutscene to the to more of a gameplay design. That alone is damned impressive. Come on, newcomer, follow me. And yeah, big cinematic cutscene right at that. So this game is very unique for its use and presentation of pre-rendered cinematic cutscenes. Features a lot more than any other game of the time. And they also look a lot more cinematic. That seems good. Gonna put this on wait, I think. This is actually a really cool touch. Magic order. And some of this stuff will be explained as we go along. Sadly, there's no auto run option, looks like. And our first battle with ex-soldier. And yes, it does use the ATB. And also, something else that is notable about this game, just the graphics. And obviously, you know, just, again, by today's standards, not great. But by the standards of 1997, this is mind-blowing. Look, Cloud has realistic proportions. Oh, I just... Spoiler about his name. But yeah, our ex-soldier protagonist has realistic proportions. Machine gun. Ooh, boo. Also, a lot of health for right at the start of the game. 300 HP to start with is not bad. And hey, I got an achievement. Won my first battle. Won my first, yeah. Start at level 6. And up to level 7 already. That reminds me. Does he have any magic? He does not. Oh, he does. Neat, I do have magic to start with. Yeah, some of those things I can talk about later. There we go. Potion. 2 potions! This guy gives no potions. Just walk along. Just chilling. How you doing, dude? I can't talk to this dude. Wow, you used to be in Soldier, huh? Not every day you find one in a group like Avalanche. Soldier? Aren't they the enemy? What's he doing with us in Avalanche? He was in Soldier, Jesse. But he quit and is with us now. I didn't catch your name. Yay! I will go with the, I am going to go with his official name. Cloud. One of the most iconic characters in RPGs. The popularity of this game means that a lot of the characters have appeared elsewhere. Cloud, in particular, has been in a lot of places. Many of the characters appeared in the Kingdom Hearts games. Cloud, along with another character we'll get to later, has even appeared in the Smash Bros. Series for the Nintendo. Anyway. Oh, by the way. Characters were designed by Tetsuya Nomura. There we go. Cloud. Cloud, eh? I don't care what your names are. Once this job's over, I'm out of here. Rude? The hell you all doing? I thought I told you never to move in a group. Our target's the North Mako reactor. We'll meet on the breach in front of it. Good job with the door. Ex-soldier, huh? I don't trust you. And another named character already. This is Barrett. Press the directional buttons while pressing cancel to run. Nice shot. Nice shot right there. Yeah, they do go a lot more cinematic than previous games. One thing I'll mention here, Cloud is very, very good. Cloud is a great character. He's got all his stats are good. Dexterity's a bit low. And yes, his weapon is the Buster Sword. Intruder? Oh no! Oh, there are random encounters here, okay. And oh no, I gotta kill a doggy this time? Ooh, that's no normal doggy. Yeah, I'm gonna kill this thing first, because it hit hard. Magic will show off another time. Oh, in here probably. I don't know, it's fun to just walk around sometimes. I do wish there was a, ooh, another new enemy. Yeah, I think I'm gonna kill that guy first. That thing first. I don't want to know what that thing does. Oh. It doesn't die, that's what it does. Yeah, let's kill these guys first. Ah! Okay. I do find it hilarious. Machine gun, 4. When they run forward and punch me, 7. Yeah, you're gonna die. There you go. But yeah, one thing that they'd considered for this game wouldn't have worked with the technology available. But they had considered doing it first-person exploration with monsters visible on the map, which was something that had been done in Chrono Trigger, along with Earthbound and probably other games. Mario RPG. So there had been other games that had done monsters on the world map. And shifting camera angles in battles. As it was, they did do that at least a little bit. So man, I might need to use a potion soon. Hey, speaking of which. What are you up to? Wedge! I'll secure our escape passage. You concentrate on the mission, Cloud. And yeah, Biggs and Wedge. They're back from Final Fantasy VI. Let's see if they last longer than they did in that game, where they died at the end of the first mission. They died as part of the prologue. So we'll see if, Jeez, we're really gonna blow this huge furnace up? This'll be something to see. So yeah, we'll see if this version of Biggs and Wedge lasts longer. Just mosey on up.
Yo! This your first time in a reactor?
No. After all, it did work for Shinra, you know.
The planet's full of Mako energy. People here use it every day. It's the lifeblood of this planet. But Shinra keeps sucking the blood out with these weird machines.
I'm not here for a lecture. Let's just do it.
Alright. You come with me from now on.
Barret! High strength. Better dexterity. Strength isn't quite as good. Vitality is better. Magic's lower. Luck's better. And yeah, his weapon is a Gatling gun. This game doesn't really have jobs the way some of the other games do. Most of the previous games had jobs. Even if a character was, even if they didn't, like Final Fantasy 4 or 6 characters weren't specifically jobs. They didn't have specific jobs, but they were effectively. This game abandons job system entirely. That said, Barret would be closest to a ranger as a ranged character. Code deciphered. Think how many of our people risked their lives just for this code. Code deciphered. Actually, before I talk to her, chest! And I got a phoenix down. Oops. And conveniently, there seems to be no enemies around here. Push that button over there. So I guess we're presumably on floor either floor 5 or floor 3.14, I guess. Switch on.
Little by little, the reactors will drain out all the life. Then that'll be that.
Not my problem. You live on the planet, dude.
The planet's dying, Cloud!
The only thing I care about is finishing this job before security and the robo-guards come. I mean, not necessarily wrong. Priorities, dude. You finish the mission and then worry about the world. And then, yeah, because of the change in graphics, they went with this style on the world map for expressiveness purposes. These chibis, not really chibis, but these, with their separate body parts and everything, weird as they look today, they are more expressive than if they'd gone with a more realistic proportion on the world map. And here we go, more random encounters. Perfect, perfect. Warning, warning. Perfect. Not a single hit off. Oops. So we're not quite at the spot where I want to mention something really, really stupid. Hey, rude. Rude. And rude again. Oh, well, I mean, at least they're attacking the guy who's already got, who's still got a lot of health left. Cloud took a few hits before I even got here, so at least they're going after, Barrett. He can take a few hits first. I think there was something around here. Push OK in front of a ladder to grab onto it. Then use the directional button to climb up and down. I thought there was something here. I thought there was a potion around here. Guess not. Or it might just be somewhere else. Oh yeah, there it is. Receive potion. And down, down, down. Yeah, there's another enemy here. Let's see if I can find the enemy before I continue on. Apparently not. Come on. Boo! Warning, warning! I think these are the guys that I believe these are... Oh, maybe not. Not these, but sadly, it doesn't show their name, the enemies. Alright, that wasn't the enemy I thought it was. Wish it actually said the names of the enemies I'm fighting. Unless I'm just missing it. Which is entirely possible. There's the enemy that I think I was thinking of. Limit break! Okay, so we're gonna do the limit break probably after this enemy. Or after I do this. So I don't really have much choice. So, limit break. Let's do this dude. Achievement! Braver! Use Cloud's first limit. So, yeah. So as you play, as you fight, you get, ooh! So close to leveling up. So as you fight, you get points towards your level break. Which are just, so, level breaks were sort of introduced in Final Fantasy VI. Most people who played Final Fantasy VI, even people who've played through it dozens of times, have literally no idea it's there. Because as I explained while I was playing that game, the way it worked there is when your health was low enough, there was a chance, a small chance, that doing an attack would cause you to do a desperation attack. Thing is, most people their health is low, they're going to heal. Even aside from that, most characters have things that are more useful than just a regular attack. Sabin, why would you ever use the attack command with Sabin when you can use a blitz? So they do actually get properly introduced here. Limit breaks will become a major part of the franchise going forward. And we got a save point. Yeah, alright, let's, How many save files? I just want to see how many slots. 15 slots. I'm used to 20. Now I'm down to 15. So I'll be able to use those as well. So that could give me up to 150 if I wanted to do it that way. Alright, so even though we're still pretty early, there's still a lot left to do in this. We haven't gone very far. Yeah, we haven't gone very far through the reactor. But, before I do leave, I am going to mention one other thing. Someone decided to get Cloud and Barrett up to level 99 within this reactor. It took them 2 years. Now, that was with them taking occasional breaks, that was with them... sometimes they'd spend, like, an entire, 3 days straight doing nothing but grinding. Other times they'd barely be able to play for a couple weeks, things like that. Sometimes they weren't always able to play a lot. But even so, 2 years! They finally did it! The funniest part is he did it out of spite. Because there was somebody else. There was somebody who had claimed to that he'd once leveled Cloud and Barrett up to level 99 within the first reactor. And said that, oh yeah, I could do it. And he started a run, and he'd post updates every now and then. And then the updates started dwindling off, and people started questioning whether he was actually still doing it or not. And the dude just got really sarcastic and just acted like kind of a douche. So another dude was like, you know what? If you're not going to do it, I'll do it and get it done before you do. And he did. And it took 2 years and was just an utterly ridiculous thing for him to do. Because the thing to remember is that going from level 7 to level 8 costs more than takes more experience than going from level 8 to level 9. So with each level, the amount of experience needed goes up. So even when you hit level 50, you are way less than halfway done. So yeah, it takes forever. But, dude did it. Big shot. Attacks one opponent. As far as the level breaks, limit breaks go, for like how to get each one, the method for acquiring level limit breaks usually is just either reach a certain level or kill a certain number of enemies. And sometimes it does require a little bit more stuff. In any event, I have said a lot and done little, which feels pretty normal to me, pretty normal for me, frankly. Yeah, that feels about right. And one more thing I'll mention. The development team had brutal crunch on this game, but really high motivation, which meant there wasn't actually a whole lot of burnout from them, which is good. You don't want people burning out. Having them burn out is bad. And crunch is really, really bad for burning developers out. Anyway, we have at least started the game. This will be a long play. This will take a while, I think. I'm not going through for 100%. I'm not doing everything. I'll try to show as much as I can. So, like, super bosses, for example, I'll at least show them. Do not expect me to beat them all. Don't expect me to beat any of the optional super bosses, frankly. Maybe I'll try. If I think that I've got a chance, then I might actually try to beat them. Otherwise, fight them once just to show you how ridiculously tough they are, and then I'm gone. Minigames, same thing. If it's fun, or if I think I might be able to do it, then I'll try to beat it. Otherwise, I'll show it, and then I'm off. Because I am not wasting time on optional stuff. Not if it's not legitimately fun to do. But with that, I am going to call it off here. When we return, I will continue through the Mako reactor. Mako. I don't know if there's an official pronunciation. I think Remake and Rebirth calls it Mako. I'll go with Mako. Unless I slip up and call it Mako. I might go back and forth. Yeah. Next time, we will continue through the reactor. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.